Visit with Mary Pegg Vosler, Dr. Kent Vosler, and Sue Schatz of Florence Little Theater's Carousel, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning, we're at the Florence Little Theater. We're focused on Carousel, which kicked off here at the theater last Friday and will be running through this Sunday. And we're visiting with Mary Pegg Vosler, a photographer with Earth Angel Photography, and Dr. Kent Vosler, her husband, with First Choice Healthcare. Morning, Drs. Vosler and
whatever the heck my name is.
An exciting opportunity. All week we've been highlighting so many of the folks that are both in front of the scenes as well as behind the scenes. The excitement for board members, seeing what y'all do to really make this a reality, and all the folks out in the audience who have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, to think all they see is the enjoyment that y'all are clearly expressing. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Are y'all from around the area?
No, we're from Ohio originally.
Eaton, Ohio.
Is that right? How long have you been in the Florence area?
About 5 years.
Is that right? With First Choice Healthcare?
Yes. I was recruited to come to Florence to be the medical director for First Choice Healthcare, which is a multidisciplinary group of physicians and therapists taking care of a whole host of people with problems.
Mm-hmm. And First Choice Healthcare primarily has a presence in the PD, or are they nationwide?
They're local. Our main office is here in Florence. We have another office in Hartsville as well.
What attracted you all to Florence in the first place?
The weather.
Yeah.
Dr. Dean and Mindy Banks are wonderful people, and we're so happy to be associated with First Choice. And the school system, St. Anthony's Catholic School, and we also attend church there. And we wanted the children to have the opportunity to go to Catholic school. And we also just find with spring, when it blooms here, it's positively ethereal. And there's nothing like it. And for us, it was like coming out of, when Dorothy goes into the Oz and its color from black and white Ohio in the winter. Mm-hmm. It's truly that striking. Of course, the symphony is here. Florence Little Theater was a huge calling card for us to embrace this area. And it's so special. In some communities, there's a little bit of a packing order, a little bit of a wall, a little bit of I'm just going to check you out. We have positively been embraced here.
That's fantastic. In 5 years.
That's how I feel, anyway.
That is wonderful. And you use the word ethereal. When we think of words like that, it ties in well to Earth Angel Photography, probably.
Well, you have to think very colorful if you want to project in one still image a whole concept, an idea, sell a person or a concept. That's what you have, one image. So.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Vosler, I understand you had a diving career prior to becoming a doctor. Can you share with the viewers a little about your Olympic career?
Yes, I competed for Ohio State during my college years, and I competed in the 10-meter platform diving in the 1976 Olympics in Montreal. I continued and competed up through 1980, and then after that I went into coaching for a while. I was invited to carry the Olympic torch in 1996 when they had the Summer Games in Atlanta. So that's been a big part of my life from childhood up to the present.
What was that like, carrying an Olympic torch? That's unbelievable.
It's exciting. It's wonderful to be a part of something like that, and the excitement and being up in front of the people, it's just great.
Sure. Mary Pegg, did you get some pictures of your husband carrying the torch?
Well, let me think. Yes. I set him up where it was dark behind him, because wasn't there a certain type of fuel in the torch that made it burn a certain way, specifically for photos?
Yeah, they used propylene in these torches so that the flame would burn brighter.
And didn't Louisville Slugger work with weren't there several groups of people, prominent businesses, that came together to create this torch?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole story in itself. The torch was made from Georgia pecan trees, and various artisans from around the country put their efforts in to make these Olympic torches for 1996.
And wasn't the reeds around the top, wasn't that a number associated with the...
Well, they inscribed all the locations and years of the Summer Olympics in the band on the top.
Amazing. Amazing.
And he got to purchase it for a mere $350.
Yeah.
The people that carry the torch do have to purchase them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out that later on eBay we could name our price. But it's not for sale.
Yes.
It's special. I just thought it was funny that they had...
You can take pictures of that every year.
Well, no.
Kent can be carrying the torch all the time.
I'll tell you why. Because the propylene that's inside of it, it can be lit and relit, but only for the amount of time that that specific amount of propylene is in there.
Right.
Because they want it to be where you've actually got the flame, and it stays, and it's passed on, and when it's put out, then, you know.
Wow. Well, obviously our focus is Carousel and
That's
Florence
right,
Little
that's
Theater.
right.
Excuse me, no, but I want to, what's it like diving, and diving professionally? I mean, that must be incredible.
Well, it's a lot like performing in the theater. You're doing a skill that you learn, and you get up in front of a lot of people, and hopefully you keep your cool and pull it off.
But in an instance like that, unlike most competitive sports where there's groups of folks out on a ball field or on a basketball court, where it's entirely you, when you say performing in a setting like this, often, I mean, it's even almost all the time you and someone else. But in an instance where it's entirely you, where all eyes are on you, golly.
It's nerve-wracking. I can tell you, when I was 34 feet above the water on a handstand in the Olympic Games finals, I was pretty nervous. But it's something you get used to. You train for it, and you just hone your skills until you feel like you can do them in your sleep, and then hopefully don't let the nerves get to you when it's time.
Right. What prompted you to later follow into medical school, and what did you study?
Well, I came from an entire family of physicians. My father and two brothers and a sister are all physicians, and I went to school in Kirksville, Missouri, and have been in family practice for the past 10 years.
That's fantastic. Mary Pegg, where did you study, and what was your major?
Good old Eaton High School in Eaton, Ohio, and then I discovered through a gifted artist program in Lawrence, Kansas, that I really love photography. And so after a stint of photographing some musicians in London, I went to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. And I was able to work as a photographer in a modeling agency and assist with the casting for a television show that some people might remember called Miami Vice.
Yeah, love it.
And it was a lot of fun. They always used to call our agency for those hard-to-find types. And if you go to the laundromat at 2:30 in the morning, you can find just about any kind of character you're looking for.
I'm sure. Golly, when did you figure out you had the bug for photography?
The first time that ghostly image appeared on that paper, that was it. See, I'm easily amused. I like wisteria, ghostly images, my husband.
Let's talk real quick about Earth Angel photography. How long has that been in existence? Is that new? Is that something that was here before you got here? Or
No,
is that something you all found?
It's relatively new. And I looked long and hard for a talent agent to work with, to sort of guide people towards, and that's Vince Paul in Talent Link of Charlotte. And he is associated with the Finn Cannons, and we try to help people get their foot in the door. And in North and South Carolina, something called a right to work clause, so people can go on auditions here that they would not be allowed to go on in the South Beach, Manhattan, Los Angeles. And that's exciting because once you do achieve a certain level of experience, then Vince can still continue to represent you.
Has your work been shown locally?
Yes, I have had some nice pieces in a juried art show here at the Florence Museum, and I have been working with people well, I just worked with a young lady this morning, Val. She's with Nice Records, and I'm going to work with No Dough. They're from New York City, and they came in this afternoon. I'm going to get to work with them, doing their photos, promotional photos, CD covers.
Great.
A lot of fun.
Thanks so much for taking the time to be with us this morning. Of course, the excitement for you, Dr. Vosler, this is one of your first experiences, I believe, at Florence Little Theater. We want to talk to your wife about what prompted her involvement early on, but How do you think, was it being around her hearing her talk about it a lot that really got you interested?
Well, mostly I've just been involved vicariously through her in several other productions that she's done in the past. And the children were in this cast as well, and so rather than sit home with the dog and watch TV, I decided to come to the theater, and somehow I got roped into performing a little bit, too.
And the whole family's now participating in Carousel. Amazing. How'd you all get involved in the same performance?
We have a really good director. Her name is Patsy Stone. And when you have Patsy Stone involved in a production, you've got a very professional show. And she held auditions, and that's another great thing about the Little Theater. Everyone has an equal opportunity. They get up here, they try, and they were chosen to work. Rex is 8. He's one of the Snow children, and in some of the dance sequence. Marshall, 10, same thing. Zachary's 16, and he also sings and dances, as well as being Enoch Snow Jr.
Wow. This is a huge, not only tonight, tomorrow night, all weekend, and of course Sunday. The matinee, what would viewers expect if they've never been here to the Florence Little Theater? What would that first experience be like for them?
Well, it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. I think they'll see a professional production that they won't forget anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
The sets are amazing, too. Lisa Sims does an incredible job with the sets, and from being on a professional scenes with films and such, I was impressed with the level of quality, with the talent and the sets and the director.
Mm-hmm. Mary Pegg, what's the experience been like for the entire family being involved? I know Ken talked about that. When you think about that opportunity to talk about it at home, to think about it, to all be around here at the same time, what's that like?
Well, we have a 16-year-old son,
Yeah.
and for those of you who have raised teenagers or are currently raising one, it's sometimes difficult to find something that you can do with them where everybody has a great time and learn something at the same time. That's what the Little Theater has been with us and our family. The kids have learned about being focused, quiet, using their talents, and enjoying that instant pat on the back when you get the applause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how much work goes into a simple show. When they watch something, they see more than just a show.
Absolutely. Now, do folks have, obviously, you've got there are a number of performances under the belt, but performances you've been in the past, other performances here, have folks come up to you afterwards and said there were so many things going on behind the scenes, but it didn't look like there was any commotion. I mean, it was just flowing along very well. Do you get that after performances?
Absolutely. It's a very easy show to watch, and that's how it should be. If it looks like people are not having a good time, if there's effort into it, then you start having this squirming in the seats. It's very quiet. The sets are changed. And, we have some pros here that have been doing this for, season after season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Dr. Vosler, lastly, if having sat in the audience a number of times and now being up on the stage and having your entire family involved, the inspiration, can you put it into words, what that's meant?
All I can say that you really appreciate how much really does go on behind the scenes, because before, when I've sat out in the seats and watched the productions, I've always enjoyed them, but I never knew all the work, the rehearsals, how much work they take, and how many people coming together to work together is involved in actually getting a production off the ground. There's so much that goes on that the people don't see from the seats.
Mm-hmm.
It's really impressive.
You heard him say it. So much that goes on behind the scenes that y'all will benefit in the audience by this incredible experience of Carousel. Dr. Kent Vosler, Mary Pegg Vosler, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Thanks for all y'all have done to make this a big performance.
Thank you for inviting us.
Get out here tonight. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Florence Little Theater. We're focused on Carousel, which kicked off last Friday and runs through this Sunday. and we're visiting with Sue Schatz, the Executive Director for the Florence Little Theater. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
My privilege.
Incredible opportunity all week to highlight what's happening here, not only what folks are seeing in the audience, but what's happening behind the scenes, what happens with board members that help keep the Florence Little Theater running, so many activities, but you're the focus really for so much of the activities that happen here, keeping the doors open all the time, really making an effort to be here in the mornings and out here late at night. It's an incredible effort, and thank you so much for spending a little time with us this morning. Can we talk real quick about yourself? Are you originally from the area, Sue?
No, I'm originally from Chicago. I've lived here about 13 years, and I've been working at the theater as the executive director for the past 8 years.
Is that right? Do you have family here in the area?
Yes, I do. My children are here.
Great. What brought you to the PD area?
Transferring with a job down here is what brought us down here
13
originally.
years ago.
Yes.
Golly, and did you immediately get active with the Florence Little Theater?
No, actually, I never had been in the theater until I got hired as executive director, and then I came to love it.
Had you been involved in theater work?
No, I was the community events coordinator at a local TV station, and came on board then here at the theater.
That was the TV?
13.
13?
Yes.
Fantastic. Wow, that's wonderful. There was Spartan back then?
It's Spartan Radio Cast.
That's
Yes.
spectacular. I did not know that. So you had a broadcasting career. Had you been in broadcasting back in Chicago?
No, I had not. I've been
down?
doing accounting at that point.
Son of a gun. That's amazing. So you became director 8 years ago. You've been at 13 prior to that. What are some of your responsibilities as executive director here at the Florence Little Theater?
Basically, my job here at the theater is doing the business end of the theater, making sure that the events are coordinated, what our plays are, working with the different publishing companies, requiring the rights for the plays, doing the publicity, coordinating the volunteers, which is probably one of the biggest jobs, and also working with my board of directors.
Volunteer is a big word.
Oh, yes,
You've got
it is here.
a ton of volunteers at the Florence Little Theater.
And you know, they make my job so much easier because they are the core of this theater. Is basically its volunteerism.
That's amazing. As we sit here, and obviously all week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to be sitting here now, to think you've had five runs of the performance. You've got tonight, tomorrow night, obviously Saturday night, and then the Sunday matinee left to wrap up Carousel. Right. But this is virtually year-round for you, so.
Yes, we have a staff of 3, and we work year-round. The minute we start with, when production ends, we're tearing down and trying to build up another set and getting ready for the next production. So
what is that like, Sue?
It's exciting. Yeah. It's great trying to get ready for the next production. Technical-wise, I really don't know a whole lot, but it's great for me to come backstage from sitting behind my desk and seeing all the new things that are built on stage and seeing it step by step and seeing the progress that they're making and seeing the set come together, and it's great. And then when you come out and see the cast and the actors using those set pieces, it just comes to life.
So these are like new families that arrive. You're almost like, I mean, it's like running new families that arrive for each performance.
Right. We have a new group of people that come. We have some regulars that are out here for every production, and then we have new volunteers and new people coming out and trying out, and once they come out and volunteer and get involved, they're hooked, and they come back time after time.
And being involved in a community theater has provided some pretty unique experiences?
Yeah. We have people from all aspects, and we constantly are surprised by the talent that here is available here in Florence. It's just amazing.
Can you take us through the process of planning? Give the viewers a sense of what it's like planning for a season. I'm sure you've begun preparing already for next season. When does the preparation begin?
We start a year in advance. They started back in September. We have a committee that meets of board members, volunteers, directors, and they start looking through the publishing books and looking to see what plays they want to take a look at for next year. They do elimination process, and then they come up with a season which is voted on by the board of directors.
And the Florence Little Theater has to pay somebody for the rights to put on a production.
Right. We have to pay royalties for each production we do. The royalties for a musical are a little bit higher than for a comedy or drama, but we find that people tend to like the musicals a little, we have a better audience participation for the musicals than we do for the other plays.
Mm-hmm. Well, it shows for the folks that have been out here. I was obviously out here Friday night for kickoff night to think about the excitement that's led up to even today and to know what's going to be going on throughout the weekend. It's very exciting. Can you describe the different levels of financial support that it takes to put together a production?
Well, we have our underwriters. For each production, we have someone, usually a corporate sponsor, someone within the community that helps underwrite some of the expenses for the production. And these are great partnerships that we work with. They're great community leaders that are willing to give us extra support to help us put on these quality productions. We also have our season subscriptions. We will do a kickoff in July each year for the following season. And you can buy a season ticket for 6 plays for $60, and you can do up to a grand benefactor at $2,000. So there's all levels of support here at the theater.
Have you found the community consistently supportive of the Florence Little Theater, Sue?
Yes, we do, and it seems like our membership increases each year, which shows us that more people are coming out and more people are enjoying what we have to offer.
Can you share with the viewers a little bit about some of the other programs that are run through the Florence Little Theater, specifically I think it's the Schoolhouse Players and the Children's Workshop?
The Schoolhouse Players is a new program that we started about 4 years ago. What it is volunteers who are available during the day. So mostly these are retirees, housewives. We have some homeschool children that participate, and they come out and they practice, and we put on plays for the schools as field trips. So we bring school children in here that probably normally would not be able to see a live performance and give them the experience of the theater.
Right. And the Children's Workshop?
Children's Workshop is a little bit different. This is a workshop that is for 2nd through 8th graders. It teaches them different skills about the theater, from production to technical to costumes, acting skills, musical, choreography. What they do is they take all these skills that they learn and they have to come out and actually audition for production. And everyone gets a part, but they start practicing and they put on a production in May. And in May they will be putting on The Wizard of Oz this year.
Wow, spectacular.
Yeah, and we have about 70 students that take part in our workshop. And next year we are going to try to have a workshop for high school students.
Exciting. Now, are these 2nd through 8th graders that will be performing in this play this month, are they part of the, are they from area schools?
These are from mostly local children, yes. From area schools, yes.
Oh, how exciting to think about it. Is this something that you learned about in other community theaters around the country, or is this a new thing at the Florence Little Theater?
This has been in place for quite a few years. This program was already in place when I came to the theater. It has grown every year. We have, like I said, about 70 students that participate. At one time it was around 50, but in the last few years it's gone up to about 70, and we usually have a waiting list to get into this program.
I bet. The workshop, the kids are learning a heck of a lot of practical skills on the theater side.
It teaches them self-confidence, and it's great skills for them to learn.
How are these programs funded, Sue?
The Children's Workshop is funded it's on a tuition base. The Schoolhouse Players is funded by, we do charge a small nominal fee for them to come, but we also received a grant from Target Corporation, which allows children who cannot afford to come to these productions for them to come. So no child is turned away.
And the programs presented in these workshops are part of these are part of a planning process that are undertaken by the Florence Little Theater Board?
We have what we do is we have different committees that are in charge of these workshops and Schoolhouse Players. What they do is come up with a proposal and then present it to the board each year.
And these are also volunteers?
Everything is volunteers.
Volunteers, the big word.
You got it.
Golly, Sue. The last production of the season's Carousel, which is currently being presented. If someone still wants to attend, are tickets available?
We still have plenty of tickets available. They just need to call the box office. We're here from 9:30 to 5 p.m. each day, and we'd love to hear from you. Have them come out and see what we have to offer.
Well, share with viewers real quick about the season finale.
We will be having awards night May 22nd. It's going to be here at the theater. There is no charge. And what this is kind of our wrap-up of the season, and what we do is we give out Best Performance Awards, almost like the Academy Awards, but we call ours the Irving. And what it is people who volunteer here earn so many points per show, and then they get, once they reach 100 points, they get to vote, and they get to vote for who they think did the best job in each production. And then they get an award at the end of the night. And then they have like a recap of the musicals. We'll do some musical numbers from each production of that season, and then we have kind of a teaser from the following season, or for the next season. And it's a great night of just sharing and seeing what we have to offer, and kind of a wrap-up of the season.
Absolutely. Sue, if someone wanted information about the Florence Little Theater, who would they want to contact?
They can call me here at the theater anytime that they want, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that they have.
Great. And what benefits do you think, Sue, lastly, what benefits do you think the community derives from the Florence Little Theater?
Oh, I think the arts offer a lot to anyone in the community. I think it's something great to bring your family. It's family entertainment, and we're constantly trying to have better quality productions, and just to see what talent that we have here in the Florence area, it's worth coming out and seeing.
You heard Sue Schatz use some amazing words: volunteers, talent, things you don't always see on a regular basis on community organizations throughout. Always volunteers are important, but at the level they've committed to the Florence Little Theater, you've seen them all week long. The family atmosphere is surely here.
Yes,
Thank you, Sue, so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. Come out tonight at 8 p.m. for the Florence Little Theater's production of Carousel. For tickets, call 843-662-3731.